All right, Jeb Hensarling, one of the Republicans in the leadership role, this big august group that came out earlier today to say they think they had the makings of a deal, and this poor fellow has not had much sleep. I always tell people, whether you like this deal or don't like this deal, whether you're left or right, you have to feel for these guys who have been going around the clock trying to cobble something together. Congressman, very good to have you. Thank you very much.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
All right, predict what will happen tonight.
Well, I think we will vote shortly. I think that the bill will pass, and I predict that absolutely nobody who votes for it is going to be excited about it.
Yeah, so
including myself.
Yeah, nose held high. But it needs, depending on who's here and who's not, Congressman, 216 to 218 votes. Do you have that? Do you have wiggle room? What?
Well, I think a number of Democrats are going to end up voting for this as well. A large group of Republicans will vote for it at the end of the day.
Nancy Pelosi surprised me. She's voting for this.
She is voting for this?
And she had been telling her members, look, vote your conscience. Hardly a ringing endorsement.
No.
Vote your conscience, vote your conscience.
Well, and Steny Hoyer, the Democratic whip, intends to vote for it as well. So I'm relatively confident it will pass. But, you know, it's very disappointing for many people. I think that there was a moment to be seized here where we could have actually put forth a solution to the drivers of our debt crisis. And the debt crisis is not the debt ceiling, it's the debt. And it is a spending-driven debt. And so for me, as one who considers himself a fiscal conservative, it's contrary to my DNA to raise the debt ceiling. On the other hand, in this bill, we are going to have the first opportunity in 15 years to force a vote on the balanced budget amendment in the House and the balanced budget in the Senate. That can ultimately be the solution. And as a guy who's fought these battles for 8.5 years, I'm ready for a game changer. I hope this proves to be it. Otherwise, it is a disappointing bill in many respects.
Many have looked at the overall figure, Congress, and the $2.1 trillion score cuts that the CBO gives it as very disappointing. And maybe so disappointing would prompt the ratings agencies, even after all your hard work, to downgrade U.S. debt. Are you afraid of that?
Well, I don't know what the rating agencies will do. I certainly agree with your previous guest, Donald Trump. They certainly missed the subprime crisis in a very big way, didn't they?
They're the only game in town, right? I mean,
no, I understand that. I understand that. But as you well know, they have threatened to downgrade us regardless of what we do. And the bottom line is we have not ultimately solved the debt crisis. I mean, government as a percentage of GDP has skyrocketed from its post-war average of 20% to 25%.
Right.
When you look at the stimulus program, you look at the president increasing garden variety government, agency government, non-defense discretionary, 24% in 2 years. His health care plan, $1.5 trillion. So it is a spending-driven crisis. And right now, over the course of the next generation, it's due to go from 25% to 40%. The problem is on the spending side. We're going to have to solve it on the spending side. Didn't quite get it done here. But we're going to fight for a balanced budget as soon as this thing is passed. Hopefully that will encourage people that we will solve the problem.
All right, so real quickly, you lost in the first measure this is the first Boehner measure that was an alternative to the Harry Reid measure. You lost a couple of dozen, I think 22 largely Tea Party freshmen. How many do you expect to lose on this one?
Well, my crystal ball is fuzzy, and this is not my job to actually be counting heads, so I don't know. Again, nobody's going to be
the exact figure in your head. I think you know the exact figure, you're just not sharing it.
No, I don't, but if I did, I would not share it, but in this case, I do not know.
That Cheshire cat, so all right.